So today we're going to be working on our SMR, self-myofascial release, as well as doing some static and neuromuscular stretching here with David. So the muscles we're going to be focusing on today will be the calves. We're going to specifically work on the soleus and the lateral gastroc muscle. And we're also going to be doing the adductors. These were the two muscles that were the main area with issue when we did our overhead squat assessment and our single leg squat assessment. So we're going to work on getting those to lengthen up a little bit. So we're going to start with our calves. So I'm going to show you how to do the SMR first for our calf muscles. And then I'll have you do it, and then we'll move on to the stretching. So what you're going to do is you're just going to position the foam roller so that it's about mid-calf. And depending on the kind of intensity that you can handle, you might want to have your legs side by side or crossed over. If they're crossed over, it will feel a lot more tension. You might find that's too much. You might find that's just right. And then you're going to put your arms beside you. You want to sit up nice and tall, good form. You're going to draw in your core muscles, and you're just going to come up on the roller, and you're just going to move it back and forth nice and slowly, because we're trying to relax the muscles, not activate them more. So nice and slowly. And then when you find a spot that is tender, you're just going to hold it there for about 30 seconds, 30 to 90 seconds, depending on how intense it feels for you. Obviously, the more intense it is, the less amount of time you'll hold it for. Okay, and for you specifically, we identified the lateral gastroc as being your really tight area. So for you, you can really focus on the lateral side of the leg, so the side of the leg as opposed to right in the middle here. And so just slowly back and forth. Once you find that tender spot, you'll hold it there. So I'm going to let you get into position here. And I'm just going to have to go to this. Okay, so just start with it about mid-calf. Good. And sit up nice and tall, drawing your core there. Good. And you can get started. And just nice and slowly roll it up to the knee, down to the ankle. And when you find a spot that is tender, just hold it there. Tender spot right there. Just hold until you feel it release. And is that feeling fairly intense for you?
That's okay.
Okay, and once you feel that release, you can go ahead and switch to your other leg. And same thing, start about mid-calf and draw in the core. Good. And that's the tender spot for you right there. Are you feeling some release there on the muscle? Good. Okay, so that is the foam roll that we would do on your calves. Now we're going to move into static stretch for your calves. So we would start out, you'll just put your hands up against the wall. You'll start with one leg forward and the other one straight back. Now because we want to focus on your lateral gastrocnemius, I'm just going to have you turn the foot in slightly, and that's really going to focus on the lateral side. Good, she'll set up there. So for you, we want this actually to turn in slightly. Good. And for the actual stretch, You're just going to slowly bring your body forward, keeping your body in a nice straight line. So you might need to step back a little bit further in that leg. And this one a little bit ahead. Yeah, and turn this leg in a bit. Good. And then you'll just lower yourself at a nice controlled rate until you feel the stretch. And you're going to want to keep the heel down on the floor. And are you feeling it stretch right into here?
No, on the other side.
You're feeling it in here more?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe just turn your toes in a little bit more. There you go. That should bring it to the outside. And you'll just hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. And with static stretching, you could do it daily. Daily is best. 1 to 4 sets or reps on each muscle that you're stretching. So we'll just do one for the sake of the video here. Okay, so you can go ahead and stretch out the other leg as well. Change the position there. Bring the front body forward just until you feel the stretch. You want to keep it nice and straight in here. And it should never be to the point where you feel pain. It should really just be until you feel that tension of the stretch. It might be a bit of discomfort, but it should never be pain. So whenever you can release that. And then we're also going to do one for the soleus, because that as well we identified as being a tight muscle for you. So you start in the same position with one leg forward and your opposite leg back. But instead of moving towards the wall, you're going to bend into the back leg only, just until you feel the stretch. And you'll again hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then switch legs. So move one leg forward, and bring the other leg back some. Good, and you're just going to bend into just this knee here, just till you feel that stretch, and hold it for 20 to 30 seconds. And make sure that you're drawing in the core, keeping a nice, strong core there. Come up and stretch out the other leg there. Again, just bring this one back a little bit. And you'll just bend into this knee, keeping your core drawn in. So now we're going to move into the neuromuscular stretching for this. So I'm just going to have you laying on the floor on your back. I'll have your head towards there and your feet towards here. Out of the way. Maybe just to scooch up a little bit. Just want to make sure we get this into the video. Okay, so I'll lay back. Just make yourself comfortable there. Both legs in line. So again, we're going to start with your gastroc muscle. I'm just going to lift your leg here, and I'm just going to place your heel on my shoulder. I'm just going to turn your leg inwards a little bit, again, because we want to really focus on the lateral side of that muscle. So what I'm going to do is we're going to stretch your toes towards your head, and when I tell you to, you're going to resist my hand. We're going to do that for about 10 seconds of resistance, and then we'll go back into the stretch. Okay? So. So go ahead and resist. Okay, and stretch. Okay, and resist. And stretch. And for these, you could do 1 to 3 sets on each muscle. Again, this one can be done daily to stretch it out, those tight muscles. Okay, and I'm just going to turn this in slightly. Okay, and we're just going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, and resist. And stretch. Okay, resist. And stretch. And these stretches you would hold for about 20 to 30 seconds. Now we're going to do one for the soleus muscle. So you can remain laying down or you can sit up if you like. And it's going to be very similar, but we'll have your knees bent up. And so you're going to flex your toes towards the ceiling there. And the same thing when I tell you to resist, you'll just push into my hand and then we'll go back into the stretch. Resist. And stretch. And resist. And stretch. Okay, and we'll just begin out on the other side here. Same procedure, we'll go into the stretch. And resist. And stretch. Okay, resist. And stretch. Okay, good. So that was really great. So now we're going to move on to the adductors, and we'll do a foam roll for those as well. So I'm going to start off with a demonstration for you. Yeah, I'll just switch over. So this one we're going to have the foam roll set up, and we're going to come down on it so that this leg is bent. You want to start it kind of about midway and just support yourself on your arms and up onto your toes. And you really want to make sure that you're keeping a nice spinal alignment here, so no, arching into the lower back. You really want to draw in the core. You're just going to come up and keeping this foot off the floor. You're going to just roll back and forth, really right in there, and then back down towards the knee. And again, when you find that tender spot, that's when you're going to hold it. Okay, so let you get yourself set up here. That's steady for you. Okay. And just roll it in and then down to your knee. Just find the tender spots there. And a tender spot for you right there. Okay, and just make sure you're keeping a nice straight back. And you'll just hold that. And again, depending on the intensity, you'll want to hold it for about 30 to 90 seconds. Okay, just breathing normally. And then when you feel that release, you can go ahead and switch on to the other side. Again, I'll hold this steady for you while you set yourself up. Okay, so yeah, I'll just bring this leg out. There you go. And just roll in and out towards the knee as well. And are you finding that it's tender on this side as well?
Yeah.
You just want to hold it on a tender spot for 30 seconds. Is it pretty intense?
Yeah, you can feel it release.
Good, so that would be the foam rolling for the adductor muscles. And then for the static stretch, the one I'm going to show you, you're just going to, you'll take a step out, and this is the leg that you're going to be leaning into. But what you want to do on this side is just find right where that femur meets the hip. So if you go like this with your leg, you can feel that point where you can feel that rotation. That's where you're going to just place your hand right in that notch. And you'll just have your other hand on your hip, and you're just going to lean into this side until you feel that stretch coming through the adductor muscles, okay? Okay, so are you feeling it right here in the adductors? And again, that you would hold for 20 to 30 seconds. And I just want to make sure that you're always drawing in at the core. Nice, good posture. Good, and you can go ahead and switch to the other side, switch out that side as well. So again, feel for that point of rotation and just put your hand in that notch. You can go ahead and move into that. And feeling the stretch right here in the adductors. Good, and then we'll do the neuromuscular stretch for the adductors. So for this one, the one we found that worked the best with you, I'll have you just come and take a seat here. And just sit. What I'm going to have you do is just sit with your feet drawn in together like this. I'm just going to sit behind you here for the video so that everybody can see. Okay, so just let them fall down into a nice stretch, and it'll be the same thing as with the other ones. I'm going to tell you to resist, and you're going to push your knees up into my hands, and then we'll go back down into the stretch. So we'll just I'm just going to put my hands here lightly, just let it stretch for about 20 seconds. Okay, go ahead and resist. And stretch. And resist. And stretch. Okay, and that's great. That's it for our stretches for today.